What's going on, everybody? I'm Nick.
I'm Gabriel.
We are Squaresville, and this is a review of Glass Animal's new album, Dreamland.
So after a few consecutive delays, Glass Animals released Dreamland. I listened to the whole thing on opening night. It's fantastic.
It's amazing.
From start to finish. It's great. The album opens up with the title track, Dreamland. A very soothing kind of trance-like track on the album. Each line relating to
Another song in the album, yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of start the album with something to think about.
It's a real nice, like, misty, streamy, bunch of synths, very steady vocals.
And it, the whole thing kind of wraps up to a 90s nostalgia kind of vibe.
It definitely reeks of tones and references of a different era. And we'll converse about it later, but I feel like they have a penchant for, in at least like the lyrical writing sense, shouting out things from the past just to kind of say, hey, we're in the 90s. You guys remember Pepsi Blue?
Real monsters and Dunkaroos. So after Dreamland, the entire album kicks off.
Tangerine. It's Tangerine.
Tangerine is the right one. So Tangerine is the first upbeat pop track on the album.
Carries mostly the same energy throughout the rest of the tracks. It's a very Maroon 5-esque cut.
Kind of.
Yeah, you can hear it in the vocals. Please, 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 Tangerine.
It's a radio pop song for sure, but it's catchy as hell, and it's fantastic. Listening to it as a tonal start and kind of lets you know what you're getting into as the album's going to go. It's not the hardest pop track on it, but it's definitely something, it's relatable, it's fun, it's catchy. And it's a higher energy than the opening track is, which is important.
Hot Sugar, I believe, which is a very groovy, laid-back, funkified pop hit as well.
Hot Sugar is one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's so smooth. It's so fun to kind of listen to and lay back to. It's got that very...
It probably has the grooviest hook.
Yeah, it's got that New Orleans... Yeah. It's definitely not as upbeat as Tangerine or some of the other ones, but it is... for certain, it's a groove.
It's coded in a much darker sound as well. And as a big sucker for synths, kind of the indie laser sound that we're experiencing right now in the late teens, early 20s, I really appreciated really obscure sounds that they smashed together to make basically all of these tracks, but particularly Hot Sugar, Waterfalls,
Waterfalls
Your Love,
is loaded with it. Yeah.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast. That's a toe tapper. That's a jammer.
It's a bop.
It's a bumper.
It smacks.
That's a slap.
It's so good.
That's a good hard hitting.
Oh yeah,
it makes me want to shake my ass. Let's be real.
The lyrical content, he's talking about something that's pretty serious. The beginning of it's about a dude that's in prison. But
is that what the fuck they're talking about?
Yeah, his friend's in prison. He's I put my hand on the glass, I can feel you through
it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. So dude's in prison. Apparently he stole his mom's old Geo Metro and everything, and you wore her old bathrobe too small to see the road.
That's what he says when you stole my mom's Geo Metro.
The lyrics they tell a story, but they're so fun to sing along to. And the beat
very
of
bumpy.
It. Yeah,
Space Ghost has a really disappointing drop, and I think that's about my only complaint with this song, because it's more of the same. It's the same chorus packed and reshipped again. Yeah, and it's already such a good dance tune that having the drop really would have sent it over the moon and just perfected it.
Just been right where you wanted it to be.
And I have few complaints. There's only 2 songs on this album that I don't enjoy, and few notes from the unwashed masses of a totally recognized musician. Yeah,
we're just commentating and critiquing somebody who's done.
As a consumer, I would have liked to have seen a much harder drop, something to really just kind of. But instead, it's just
drop it and set the tone.
Bum. Yeah, it's a tease. It was a tease, and I'm a take me all the way kind of guy.
I'm gonna give it to me hard.
I'll pay for the Uber. That's fine.
It's okay.
But I want to get there.
I just want to be there. So after Space Ghost, we have Tokyo Drifting.
Tokyo Drifting is just so good.
So they released it
Is the first single.
The first single, and I lost my shit. Like, absolutely, I was so excited, and it was just everything I hoped for. It's just a hard smashing of a tune, and then Denzel Curry's on it.
Yeah, this is the only song that features a feature on this album, and it's from Denzel Curry, and it's fast. It's like...
He's going.
Yeah, he's really...
He's going hard.
You have to actually, like, keep your ears open and pay attention to the song to grasp
to get that
what like the words that are coming out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, but and even then when he finishes the verse, he's just like, oh, which just gives it that like
all the sound effects in Tokyo. Tokyo probably has the best sound effects.
Oh yeah,
like
the sniff, and like I even brought my hand up to my nose,
and all the cash registers like just slamming shut.
When it released, I was already pumped just to have a single, but then after I listened to it and I knew that there was going to be more of that
quality
album, I was stoked. I was so excited.
Very excited.
And it was great. It was everything I wanted. The album itself is everything that I wanted, really. I mean, I don't really have many complaints with it, as you're hearing now, but like...
And so you've been a fan since basically its inception. You came in on Zaba, right?
Which is the first album? I came in on the EP of Zaba. It was the full album, yeah. I heard it on a jukebox, and now I've been listening to them for like 6 or 7 years or something like that.
Yeah, you actually put me on to this band with Cane Sugar.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was hesitant to go through the rest of the album, but then when the singles for Dreamland started coming out, I've actually gone back and listened to the other two.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate them as much because it was like religiously, we've gone through Dreamland probably maybe 60 times.
60 times between the two of us?
It's been, as of recording, it's been 2 weeks since it's been out. It's nonstop. My Spotify Rewind playlist, it basically comprises the entire album.
Yeah. And it just doesn't go away either. Like, the songs are different enough to where you're not like burning them out. Like, you could play the album front to back and there's enough variety and enough catchy tunes on there to just keep you replaying the album and not getting sick of it. Like something.
This is made with the interest of the listener in mind. It is all painted with a homogeneous sound of Glass Animals. Like, each one is unmistakably their own song, but as Gabe said, they are all different enough that you can play them back to back and to not get sick of them and identify them and still vibe with them.
After that, we've got probably one of the more disappointing...
Melon and the Coconut.
Yeah, Melon and Coconut.
Unfortunately, the quality of the album, as high as it is not reflected in this one tune. And it's clear that the band tried their best to make it an interesting story, but it really is just a 3-minute endeavor that tests your patience.
Yeah, it's just another breakup song. And you've heard the ideas 1,000 times that, you know, you're in a relationship and you just can't do it anymore. Yeah. And they put in lyrical content where they turned it into a story, and they had, you know, it's a melon and a coconut breaking up. It's not like...
metaphor.
But it's really just not...
It's deep, guys. Did you get it?
Yeah.
They're supposed to shake.
No, it's just not that impressive. It's pretty monotone throughout the whole thing, and it's not quirky enough, and the lyrical content isn't interesting enough to have me, like, revisiting it as many times as other songs.
If I want to be sad, I have about 10 other songs and considerably more bands that have done it better.
Yeah, more poignant. Like, Glass Animals does better. They're upbeat, and they're not being like ultra sad or like on breakup material. Like, even some of their sadder older stuff, like Agnes, is a very prominent emotional song, and it's fantastic. But I feel like its themes are even deeper than just like the "we're breaking up" motif, and that's just been done a lot. I'm kind of over hearing it, even though it's going to be a thing that happens for literally forever.
Yeah,
but
list of things that people will never stop singing about.
Yeah,
breakups, their cars, the rain.
Yeah,
like they're just
gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
So, Your Love.
Oof, Your Love is great.
It's great.
Your Love is really good.
It's so
Your
fantastic.
Love is their first radio single.
Yeah.
That's big because A, it's a great song. B, they're getting the radio play notice and notoriety that they deserve.
They absolutely deserve it too. They've been around, yet somehow kind of under the radar at the same time. Like, people know of them, but you're never going to hear it on like every mainstay pop station.
It's not the type of music that's being preserved in like the top 100.
Yeah, you're definitely...
And I understand why. A lot of their stuff does not sound like radio play music. It's not something you would hear on the airwaves. It's just too weird, you know what I mean? But Your Love is undeniably good. You know what I mean? Like, you could play somebody a Glass Animal song from like How to Be Human or Zaba, and they'll be like, oh, this is definitely a cool concept, but like I can't dance to this.
Yeah.
You playing Your Love, their ass is shaking.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be dancing.
I think the biggest thing is they're accessible.
Yeah.
They're much easier to jump into than their previous works.
Yeah, you don't have to hear. You could hear one song off this album as a single and enjoy it, whereas if you caught maybe something out of Zaba
without
be like without
brother
context,
or sister songs, it just wouldn't make as much sense.
Okay, this feels strange for the radio.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is one of the best riffs too. That
yeah,
it's so good, dude.
It's so good.
So catchy.
So it transitions into Waterfalls, which is
another 10 out of 10 fantastic song off this album.
So good. Waterfalls coming out your mouth.
Easily some of the most fun
lyrics
to
to
sing.
sing. Yeah. And he's like, big dicks and big old titties on the slide. Oh my god.
So good. This song has what I'm talking about. There is a delicious drop in the middle of it.
Just for you to build up and then drop down to and just hit it. It hits it, so the whole song hits pretty hard. This is
another perfect example of when we were talking about the sound effects that they choose to use in like Tokyo.
But
like the water droplet sound effects and then like the rising synths.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Delicious. This song sounds like having sweet tea in your mouth. Tastes like.
You hear it, and even though it's odd, it's so infectious.
It's catchy.
Oh, it's so good.
And this song has another prime example. The lyrics just make no sense. Like if you look at them, if you print them out and read them along, shout out Drake. It tells a story. It makes sense, but individually, if you look at the snippets, it sounds like a stream of conscious.
Yeah,
it's not something that typically people would sing about, and again, I think that leads back into why radio play has been inaccessible to them until now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the content of the songs are only really related in the context of the song.
Yeah,
like it doesn't really apply outside. Most of the time, it's not like articulated sentences. It could be like one object, another object, and then you're moving on, and it's just because
tulips, chocolate lipstick,
exactly, and it just fits.
It certainly does not inherently devalue the song, but it prevents it from reaching era-defining greatness.
It's also incredibly loud.
Yikes! Yikes! Also incredibly loud. It's growing on me.
Has it?
It's growing on me. So obviously at work, I don't actually do my job.
Do any of us
We have a sound bar, and me and my coworkers will just go through music together, and I just let it rock, and I don't bother skipping any of them except Helium, and
why? Okay,
and I keep letting It's Also Incredibly Loud play, and it is growing on me. It's such a slow burn of a song, though. I really wish they would have gotten to the point about 2 verses and choruses better. Yeah, because despite what the title implies, this is the quietest song on the album.
Yeah, it's not very loud.
Not at all.
It's not a very.
It's also incredibly hard to hear.
Yeah, it hasn't really grown on me that much.
The payoff is not there.
Yeah,
it just does not deliver enough in comparison to the rest of the album.
And I don't know if I just don't relate to it as much as other people, but it just doesn't impact me as heavily emotionally as some of their other work has. Domestic Bliss,
it's good.
I love Domestic Bliss. I think it's so good. The song is about domestic violence, and you really feel the emotional impact of that and what it did to him.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are plain.
He's not being coy. It's talking about the first time that he saw his mother get hit. As a child, obviously your parents are the people that are supposed to provide security, and a song about wanting that person for you, that guardian, to be able to do the same for themselves, that's powerful.
Yeah, that's strong.
That's strong material, yeah.
Like emotionally resonating songs like that, they really do, and they're still songs that you want to listen to. Like I could listen to Domestic Bliss over and over, and have listened to Domestic Bliss over and over again, and I'm not tired of it, and yet I still ruminate on what it means every time I hear it.
So there are 4 of the home movie skits, and other than the one Rockets that leads into Domestic Bliss, I will say I feel like they don't particularly add too much to the album. You could remove the other 3 and no content of, I don't want to say value, but like value would have been lost.
Measure would have been lost. I understand that they make the album like more personal to the lead singer, being that he literally included parts of his life.
Good on them repping vaporwave. Underrated genre. Everybody should be on it.
It's great. It's
not gonna say. I don't want to act like a hipster here, but you gotta.
Been doing it.
Number one dick rider since day one. The next song.
All right.
Heat Waves. All right, here it is, boys and girls.
Baby. All right. So
this is the best song Glass Animals has ever made. If you're looking for a song to put somebody on the Glass Animals, Heat Waves. If you're looking for the best song on this album, Heat Waves.
Heat Waves.
If you, for some reason, can only use us as a reference and you have to find one summer song to listen to for the rest of 2020, Heat Waves.
Heat Waves.
Easy.
When that song came out as a single, it probably played 200,
non-stop.
300,
non-stop.
So much in our house. Every member of our household was playing it.
At separate times, by the way.
It was so contagiously good. Like, no one could turn it off.
Spread like coronavirus.
Oh, it's just like corona. Like,
it's delicious. It's delicious.
It's so good. It's still good. Like, it's a pop hit that just sticks.
I understand they not played it safe by putting out Your Love to the radio first, but if they release another song to the radio from this album, it will be Heat Waves.
I feel like that transition will bring them even farther into the mainstream, and that will be fantastic for them as a band. That's what every band wants.
Desires,
is to get their following and grow it and have the shows, and I think that's fantastic. They've been putting out good stuff for years now, and if Heat Waves is the single that can break them really hard,
break that glass ceiling,
I would
for Glass Animals.
For Glass Animals, yeah.
So, like, regarding the lyrics, I mean, I bought the concept, like hook, line, and sinker in Marshmello's Happier song, and then again when Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born.
A Star Is Born,
and I bought it, hook, line, and sinker here.
So good.
It's so good.
It's such a relatable idea. Everyone's kind of been through that in their adult life where you feel like you might not be good
nobody's gone through it with such a good soundtrack. It's such an outcry of emotion. Every word drips with, like, pain from the heart.
And you can just sing along to his pain, too, which is somehow nice for us, but, like...
Conspiracy theory. Dave Bailey's actually just a hoe, and he wants to break up with the chick so he can get back to schlinging some peen.
To schlinging peen when he's on tour again.
He doesn't actually care about this woman. He's just like, I need you out of my house.
And he's like, please leave.
Please get out. It's hot. Leave.
Like, he's got... Dave Bailey has a very distinct sound to his voice anyway. Like, it's very particular. Like, when you hear it, you're not like, oh, that sounds like a other artist.
Except for Maroon 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, lyrically, but I don't think he sounds like Adam Levine.
Oh, no, I think tonally he does sound like Adam Levine.
You think like he sounds like Adam Levine?
Especially, it's very present, we already talked about it, but on Tangerine, he's definitely... channeling Maroon 5 the very least.
Lyrically, for sure, I definitely see the resemblance. Let us know in the comments if you think he sounds like Adam Levine.
It doesn't matter if you agree with Gabe, though.
Honestly, it doesn't matter at all. Moving on from Heat Waves, which is hard to do.
Yeah. I don't know that I'll ever be able to do that.
I think I'll probably listen to it
as soon as this is done, actually.
Yeah, probably once this is
Why don't you stop watching us, go listen to this song, and then come back.
Heat Waves, come back and
then we'll wrap this up. Anyways, after Heat Waves comes Helium.
Which I love Helium. Nick does not love Helium. I don't understand. I think Helium is great.
The chorus, it's another incredibly loud issue in that the payoff is too deep into the song. You have to sacrifice 2 minutes of your time to get to the part that I actually like. I guess I want you more than I thought I did. That's good. That's catchy.
I like it so much.
I wish that I could have heard that more than once and I didn't have to rewind the song every time to get to that again.
It adds to me a layer of appreciation because it's a finite loop.
It's a bow.
Album.
It's a bow on the
it
package.
Wraps it up. It's definitely got the nostalgia to it for sure, and it gives it a permanent close. A concise close by making it full circle, and the tune of the song itself to me was enough for me to listen to it again several times, but also enjoy it that way. Like I didn't feel like I needed to rewind it. Like I wanted to listen to the song. I wanted to listen to the emotional close of the album, and I enjoy it for that. I definitely see where Nick's coming from because I also would love to hear that chorus multiple times
because it was good,
so
David.
Good.
We wanted that part.
Yeah, I love that part of the song so much. And that part alone will have you sing along. We're gonna have
to put like a translator's note. Kaku means all according to plan. Dave Bailey is the lead singer of Glass Animals.
For sure. Yes, David. Like as a close to the album, I enjoy Helium, and as a song, a standalone song, I'd probably still listen to it. Definitely not stronger than any of the.
Not the weakest.
Yeah, not strongest, not the weakest.
That credit definitely goes to It's Awesome Critical or Melon and the Coconut.
Yeah, the weakest one is
definitely.
Melon and the Coconut to me. The Melon and the Coconut's just too monotone.
Yeah.
Too monotone.
So with Helium wrapping it up, these are my favorite songs in order.
And then these are mine. So overall, the album is a fantastic piece of music, artwork, and nostalgia. The songs are great. The visuals are great.
You're going to want to listen to them over and over again. It's going to stick with you. There's a bunch of very strong earworms in here. And again, the best showing the band has produced together in Heat Waves, it really just encapsulates all that they've grown and evolved into. All that
they're becoming, more of the concept albums that they put out, more of the quality that they just continue to put out, all while being more accessible, more catchy, definitely more relatable for anyone who was born in the 90s.
Yeah. With that, probably the only thing that I would want from their next work is for them to keep pushing the maximalist sound. As we spoke about earlier, I really enjoyed all the unique sound effects and the just extravagance of the entire affair, and I really want them to push that. And then my only other suggestion is I really want some harder drops. Like Waterfalls and Heat Waves probably feature the only two like serious
even attempts at a drop.
Yeah. And I want some shit that's gonna slap me in the face and bump like herpes. I really want to like get down whenever I hear the next album. What would you like, Gabe?
So I've been a long time fan. I love every idea that they attach themselves to. Zaba is one of the most played albums on my Spotify. How to Be a Human Being was on repeat in my house for quite some time. I went to see shows for each one, and now Dreamland did not disappoint me, and my expectations were just so high. And I just want a continued amount of quality and quirkiness, and I want to see whatever idea they latch onto next delivered to me in the Glass Animals fashion.
Put it in my hands already.
Just give me more. Just give me more of what you already do. You guys they're one of my favorites, and they just continue to be.
And so obviously Dreamland is such a strong showing that it's such a good indicator that whatever idea they latch onto next is
going to be great.
It's probably just going to be as fantastic.
It's going to be... I can't wait, honestly. I just got a new album, and I'm looking forward to another one already.
That is our review of the album. Let us know in the comments if you agree, disagree. Tell us what you think. We want to interact with you and we want to hear from you. But just remember, we're right.
You're wrong.
Deal with it.
Bye.